Fabricio Mattos began his musical studies at the age of 6, being taught by his father, the saxophonist Elio Mattos, and at 14, after studies of flute and violin, he was introduced to the classical guitar. Winner of over 10 national and international competitions, he launched in 2007 his first solo CD, España, playing a tour of 15 concerts in 10 Brazilian states. At this time, he arrives in Hanoi in his Asian tour. Hello, welcome to Our on the Mic of VTV4. So first thing first, you're here in Vietnam. Also, how do you feel?
I feel really good, actually. The Vietnamese people is really warm, and there are many things that are in common with the Brazilian people, so I was really impressed with that.
Great, and I believe that this is your first time that you are here in Vietnam. So tell me why Vietnam is on the list of your Asian tour.
Vietnam was a place that I always wanted to come, and I played in Bangkok 3 times, and there's a Brazilian embassy there that contacted the other embassy, and in Myanmar as well. So I have a nice Asian tour because of that. So Brazilian embassy invited me to come here as well, and I'm really happy with that.
So how many performances are you going to do in this Asian tour?
Actually, this was the second. I played in Bangkok last week, and I play now, and then there's a lecture and a concert in Myanmar, in Yangon, Myanmar. So it's a relatively short tour, but yeah, it's very, very tiring sometimes, you know, because of the time change, etc. But it's okay.
Fabricio has participated in many projects. He has recorded plenty of CDs, DVDs, attended many performances worldwide, and acting as a soloist or chamber musician with the most varied ensembles. Fabricio has been traveling to different countries, giving lectures, and cooperating with professional guitarists. The talented Brazilian guitarist has played in several international festivals and competitions in various European countries and in events that globally recognized for his musical value. Now talking about your music career, how did you become a solo guitarist?
Well, I started my musical career as a percussionist. I played in carnival parties in Brazil, because in Brazil, my country, carnival is it's a very rich, popular party, celebration. And I started with my father. My father taught me my first steps in music, and then I started to play the flute and the violin afterwards. And when I was 12 or 13 years old, I don't remember, I first played the guitar, and then I never stopped.
And later in your career, how many CDs have you released, and also how many performances that you have attended?
I have 2 main recordings as a soloist so far, but I've participated of at least 15 other CDs as a chamber musician or a solo guitarist. I played with other guitarists in a duo, since other guitarists until big choirs, and so I'm very eclectic in this sense. My main realizations in the music field is probably the world tour I had last year in 2011 as part of my project that's called Worldwide Guitar Connections, WGC. And I played many tours in Brazil and in Europe as well. I consider these as my most important events of my musical life.
Being a guitarist, what are the repertoires that you would like to present to the audiences every time you go on tour like this?
Well, particularly in this tour, I'm bringing Brazilian music. It's a concert only with Brazilian music, many artistic languages, many musical tastes. But I usually like actually a lot of things. Particularly contemporary music, I like very much. I like to work with composers, so I like to premiere the pieces of these composers. And I really like Baroque music, and I like to play Baroque music, Bach, mainly. Because it depends on the interest of who contracts you, who is calling you to play. So in this case, it was the Brazilian embassy, so I was really happy, of course, to play the music of my country, and then I thought it would be nice to organize an event only with Brazilian music.
The auditorium of the National Academy of Music tonight is packed with audiences. That's because of one simple reason: Fabricio Mattos. In his Asian tour, the talented guitarist stop in Hanoi and bring the audience an atmosphere filled with the vitality of Brazilian music. That's more than enough for Brazilian music fans.
I've been to many performances here, and I always try to go to all the performances because I love music. And what I really liked about this concert is that I'm really passionate about Brazilian music. I think it's specifically beautiful and has a lot of passion, and that's why I enjoyed it so much.
Not only the funky rhythms of Brazilian music that have been familiar with audiences, Fabricio also brings to those who love the sound of guitar various conservatoires. The concentration he puts into each composition does help the audiences understand the skillfulness of a world-class instrumentalist and his diversity in style.
I think his level was very good, and I think one of the most impressive things of the performance was that he played so many different styles of Brazilian music. It's not easy to master even one of those styles of music, but he seems to have mastered the technique of at least 4 or 5 different styles of music from around Brazil.
Fabricio is not the only guitarist who comes to Vietnam recently, but his skills and love for guitar does bring audience in Hanoi a night to remember. Now talking about the music scene in general, what do you think about the development of guitar around the world?
I think the guitar as an instrument has reached a very important point in its history, because there are so many very good guitarists around the world playing so many different repertoires, many different programs of many different composers and languages, and that proves how eclectic the guitar is. But we have to take care not to accept everything. I'm not completely against competitions, for instance, but I think there's more outside of it. And I think the good guitarists who are still playing competitions should explore more this other side of the musical production and maybe bring to the world.
Do you think that being a solo guitarist you are facing any challenges or difficulties?
I feel that guitarists is still an isolated being in the world, and it shouldn't be like that. There's more chamber music being written for the guitar, and I think we should further explore this repertoire and play much more with other instruments. What lacks in the guitarist world is courage sometimes to bring things and transform the concert, the event of the concert, in a very important event, which tells people more than technique and right notes, that tells musically and artistically more.
And being a solo guitarist, what is the message that you want to send to those who play guitar for fun and those who play guitar more seriously, like professionally?
For those who play for fun, well, keep going, it's nice. For those who play professionally, okay, keep going, it's nice as well, have fun as well, this is important for professional. But always try to bring to your audience something of yourself. If you don't, grab your chances to tell something really important, you will be always in the almost. You will not be in full, you'll be almost.
So thank you very much for joining us, and we hope that you would be more successful with other destinations during this Asian tour.
My pleasure. Hope to be back to Vietnam as soon as possible, because I really enjoyed here. The audience was amazing, very warm people. So I look forward to be back here.